Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday of non-farm payroll week. The sun is shining here in Ontario, Canada, and I think it's the first time I've seen the sun in, I don't know, like more than 10 days. No lie. Just gonna wait for a few people to join, and then we'll get started on the chart for this morning, and I'm going to do just a quick review on the Asia London session. I've been out walking my dog for about an hour early this morning. It's super windy. It was snowing last night, but this morning it's cold, but boy, when the sun is shining, it really feels nice. Okay, so I'm going to be reviewing the NASDAQ this morning. I think there's still construction going on around me, so there might be some news. Hey, good morning, XMT89. I'm going to jump right into the daily. Let's take care of that first. Let's go through the day and then the chart, and then I'll do a quick review of the trade that I took this morning. Asia was a beautiful setup, or London was a beautiful setup last night, and I just want to review that because this setup happens like at least a couple times per week, and when the setup happens, it's just a nice clean trade. So I'm just going to review that. But let's start on the daily. On the daily chart, take you through kind of what I'm looking at, and you can share with me what you're looking at. So here we still have this large SIBI, and I've divided the SIBI into quadrants. This was yesterday's price, so price opened here. It came up, tapped up a little bit, then it dropped all the way down, making the daily low of the week, and then moved back up and closed. Last night, price opened up and it tapped into this 15-minute fair value gap. So I've put this fair value gap on my chart, and when we go to the 15-minute, you'll see how instrumental this was in the Asia session. Then we've got our midnight horizontal line and our vertical line, vertical and horizontal, and I'll get more to that on the 15-minute chart. Here's our settlement price from Monday. We have our volume imbalance in this little area here. So between this candle and this candle, we have this daily volume imbalance in blue. Then we have this very large daily SIBI, and then the rest I won't even bother covering up here because it's so far up here. But I do want to point out that this line here is a really important line. I'm just going to increase just so you can see it a little better. This is daily lows. So this candle didn't quite make it, and this candle here. So this area, which is 19607 approximately, this is an area that I'm watching. So if price wants to continue to drop, this might be an area that price might come up to before dropping, or we may go above it, but it's the 25% percentile of this fair value gap. So I've put this on my chart as sort of a heads up. This is an important area. Okay, going down to the 4 hour. So when I'm preparing my charts in the morning, I put every 4 hour fair value gap and 1 hour fair value gap on my chart because I like the higher time frames, especially when I'm down in minutes. It just keeps me grounded in terms of where I am. So here's our settlement price from yesterday. Here's our midnight at midnight. Here is this 50% of daily wick. Sorry, I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you what I mean. So this candle here, this black candle here yesterday, it had a very long wick down. all the way down here. So I've taken the 50% of this wick as a point of interest. If price wants to drop, this could be definitely a place of interest. Okay, back to the 4 hour. I'm going to take off this fib since we have our 50% of the daily wick here. I've also drawn on this 4 hour volume imbalance, which initiated between this candle and this candle. Now we can see that price has moved up and through it a number of times. And I like to keep my volume imbalances on the chart even after price has gone through it, because the algorithm, excuse me, likes to revisit these levels. But I think at this point, we've been through it enough times. I think I can let this one go. So I'm going to remove that. And then here is our new volume imbalance, but it's on the daily level. I don't have any 4 hour fair value gaps, so I'm going to move down to the 1 hour. Hey, good morning, read this. Oh, is my chart not full screen for you guys? Okay, that's weird. My chart is full screen, so I have like a really big 48-inch screen, or maybe even bigger. Is that a little better? Read this. Okay, I'm going to keep going, but later today, maybe you could let me know. It's kind of scrunched. Okay, let me make this. Let me know if this is better. Is that a little better? Anyway, let me know. Okay, so we're down here on the hourly. And on the hourly, we have our SIBI up here, which is our pink SIBI. We have this one, which is the most current, so it's between this candle and this candle. Here's our volume imbalance, which is point of interest in play for today, and possibly the next few days. We have our. I'll get to our 15-minute gap here in a second. We've got our midnight at midnight. And this 15-minute fair value gap was important overnight, and it continues to be important. So we'll get to this on the 15-minute chart, but you can see that price has been tapping into this, and this 15-minute fair value gap has been holding. Okay, let's get down to here, down here. I'll make this a little bit bigger. Here is the 50% of our daily wick, so it's all the way down here at 19,145. Here's our settlement price from yesterday, and price is just moving towards that now. Time is 9:12, so let's keep going. Now let's get into Asia and London overnight, because this is where things just got incredibly fun last night. So on the 15-minute, we have our 15-minute fair value gap right here. And this initiates from this doji candle to this candle here, and it's this nice 15-minute that has been instrumental pretty much since the week started. So you can see last night, here's Asia, here's London on the 15-minute. And again, if you don't have the indicator, I suggest that you use this indicator, because Asia and London are the precursor to New York. What happens in Asia and London influences so heavily New York that you are missing the first half of the party if you are not watching Asia and London. So here we have Asia last night, and we've talked about this before. So we want to see Asia accumulate. We want to see Asia in a range like this. And when Asia is doing this, it is engineering liquidity above and below. And that's really, really important for what happens in London. So as we can see last night, when we have a PDarray on a higher time frame, either above or below Asia and London, I get really excited because there's the potential for some really good trading. So Asia dips into the 15-minute fair value gap and then moves up. We then chitter chatter around before London really starts, and then London moves up, moves through this volume imbalance here on the daily. I'll make this bigger. And it gives us this wick. Now, we know that when we see a wick like this, there's the potential that price has taken liquidity, right? But if you look to the left, we are still below this liquidity, but more importantly, we have this beautiful hourly higher time frame PD array up here. So this is kind of like a little note to ourselves that we don't want to get into a trade too early, because with the liquidity up here, we could expect that London would climb back up into this hourly SIBI, and indeed it did. So this morning, I don't set my alarm for London because I traded it all last year. So this morning, when I woke up, this first thing I do is I check my laptop from my bed. Anyone else trade from their bed? I do, especially the London Asia sessions. Anyway, I woke up at 6 a.m. So this candle formed at 5:45, and then this candle started to form at 6. And as soon as I saw that London had swept and come up into the 1 hour fair value gap, I just sold, took 5 contracts and sold. And it was just a beautiful trade down. And of course, where would the terminus be? Well, the terminus would be, but my new day opening gap, new week opening gaps on here. Oh no, they're doing construction below me, I'm sorry. So where would terminus be? Well, yeah, I was hoping it would sweep London, but I was really hoping it would drop down here into this new week opening gap, and indeed it did. It kissed the 15-minute, this important 15-minute fair value gap here, and then it's done a little retrace. So this setup, this kind of setup, where we have Asia range here, and then London, and then a sweep of London in a higher time frame. This will happen a couple times a week. It's really a nice trade to look for. Guys, I'm really sorry about the noise. I think I'm just gonna have to maybe keep my mic off this morning. Okay, so that's kind of where we are. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to keep my mic off, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so let me just catch up on chats here. XMT, kind of interesting how 50% of yesterday wick also lines up with Monday, first presented fair value gap. Yeah, the first presented fair value gaps, I think I removed mine early this morning. But it is nice to kind of go back XMT and look at the totality of the week, kind of, you know, where are we in terms of the sessions. And I really love to watch how Asia and London help to frame what happens in New York. And of course, it's always easier to see in hindsight, but when you see this kind of setup here, this sweep and then resweep into a higher time frame. And what I've done is I've linked the video in the description of this live session. So when it's finished, you can just go there. I've linked the video. It's Mulhand Trading, and it was from him that I learned how to trade Asia and London overnight. So I've linked the video for you guys. So if you want to see this setup or you want to learn this setup, even if you don't trade Asia and London, if you understand this setup, then you might be able to take a trade like pre-market. You know, like maybe if you work full time or something, you could start checking the charts at around 6 a.m. And if you see the setup, this is a setup that happens multiple times per week, generally speaking. Okay. Oh, it's not that loud for you guys? Oh, okay, thanks. Because it sounds like somebody's banging my head with a hammer. Basically. All right, then let's, it's 9:19. Let's just get on to marking up our chart, and then we'll take a look at ES. So we're going to look at 9:30 here. Now, because I had this beautiful trade this morning, how nice is it to be banking like almost $1,000 from your bed before 6:30 a.m.? Like, how nice is that, right? April 1st, we're starting off on the right foot. Okay, so this is our 9:30. I'll take off the 4 a.m. Pre-market for me is 4 a.m. to 9:30, and I mark the high and the low on my chart. So I have my pre-market high and I have my pre-market low. And I have linked in the description of this video the video to Scarface, who talks about the break and retest using the pre-market high and low in addition to his 5-minute candle strategy. So that is linked in the description when we finish this video for you guys to consider. Yeah, it's not bad at all, right? I walked my dog over to the cafe like really early this morning, and I'm just like, everyone else is in line waiting to go to work, and I'm just like, I'm done, I'm banked for the day. Okay, so here we go. We're at 9:30 here. Let's just take a look on the 1 minute. Let's find our buy side and sell side. Let's also look for manipulation. So here is midnight, and here is our horizontal line midnight. So we can see that for the majority of the overnight, we have been above midnight. So this is just something that I've seen on the charts. Mulhand has mentioned in multiple videos. This, I wouldn't call it, it's not a PDarray or anything, but it's just something that I notice, that when we spend the majority of our time above midnight in the early morning session, that we can expect price to go below midnight for some point in the New York AM session. So I keep that in the back of my mind as just a little roadmap. I don't even know what you call it. It's just, I think, a little bit of sweat equity on the charts. When you put time in on the charts, you notice these things. So we're moving back up here into this new day opening gap. We have our 15-minute PDarray here. Now, I want to highlight that this, when we were on the daily chart, you saw why I have this dotted line up here. This is on the daily chart. This was a touch point by multiple days of price hitting this and then reversing and moving up. So this to me is like a ceiling, and price, I think this is a bit of a magnet for price. We may not get all the way up here this week because it's non-farm payroll. Who knows what can happen? But this area here is, for me, a big point of interest, and that's at 19,607. Okay, so we've got this new day opening gap. You know, I'd be wondering if price, maybe not go above here, but it might. And then I'd like to kind of see something like this happen. But price could sweep this and then continue up to this 4-hour SIBI here, and maybe touch these daily equal lows. So we don't know. We're not going to guess. We're just going to follow the roadmap of the PDarrays this morning. Note, we have 10 a.m. news, so guys, be careful. Don't, whoops, I don't think you want to learn how to knit socks, eh? There we go. Or maybe you do. Okay, so it's Tuesday, April 1st. We have ISM manufacturing 10 a.m. and Jolt's job opening at 10 a.m. This is why on Tuesdays of non-farm payroll week, I look for pre-market trades, because I feel a little safer before news comes out to take a trade. So let's just put a little reminder line in here that at 10 a.m. we have news release. And I'll just make this red. Okay, and then in terms of buy side and sell side, just look for some obvious highs and lows here. This would be my buy side. Buy side 1 minute. And then my sell side would be, we've come down all the way down here in Asia to a little more than the 50% of this 15-minute fair value gap. I'm going to drop a sell side here on the 1 minute, and I'm also going to just going to drop one down here just to remind me that we do have this this little area down here. Okay. Is there anything else you guys see on the chart that we haven't highlighted this morning? Anything that you're watching or that you're looking at? Anything else that we should be aware of? Let's drop ES on here. Here's our power of 3 candle. So this begins at midnight. As I have mentioned before, I like to look at, ideally I want to get in on the wick. So this morning, excuse me, price opened here. It dropped down into the 15-minute fair value gap. We saw that in Asia, and then it moved all the way up to here to make the high. And then it came down to current price, which is pretty much the settlement price from yesterday. So this is our power of 3 candle here, just to give us like an overview of where we are. So, you know, will price continue to move up, or will we see price move down? We just don't know yet. And in terms of ES, make this a little bit bigger. This blue line here is the point of retest. This is an important area on the daily for ES. And then here's our 15-minute gap. No, this is our volume imbalance below here. Okay, so it's 9:28. Because it's non-farm payroll, this is a week that I'm very conservative with trading. So we're going to go through the motions. We're going to do everything that we normally do on a daily basis. But I'm just letting you know that I've already banked this morning, so I'm not looking at doing anything crazy. What's that great saying? Be content with enough. But I'll be marking out the 5-minute break of structures. So we have our big new week opening gap down here. I'll take the power of 3 off for now. And we'll be looking for any divergences that happen. And as always, I'll be marking out the 5-minute high and low for Scarface strategy. So that London Asia video is going to be linked in this description, guys. Even if you have no intention of trading London, check it out because it'll really start to frame the morning session of New York for you. And for those who are working full time, it's just a nice option to maybe set your alarm a bit early and see if you can find an early morning trade. Okay, 9:30, market is opened. So XMT is bringing to our attention that NQ took the previous day high overnight and ES and YM did not. Thank you, XMT. This is the third candle, tapping into new day opening gap. Just going to drop on here the opening range gap, but it was really, really small. Price opened here. This is our fourth candle of 5. Again, we have news at 10 a.m., so I'm not looking to take a scalp before 10 a.m. Let's just look on the 5-minute time frame just to give us some balance. So we're in the 1 hour fair value gap. We've come to just 50% of it. Here's our London, here was our high, here was our higher high. This is where we went low. This could be the manipulation. This is too late for manipulation. Well, maybe not. This could be manipulation here. Or this could be manipulation down here. Don't know yet. We have our pre-market low here. So lots of wicking, lots of price movement, which is really common for non-farm payroll week. That's what makes it a difficult week to trade. Be interesting to see if price would get up to here or just form a mitigation block and then sell off. I guess we'll wait and see what the news brings. Back to the 1 hour or the 1 minute chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our fifth candle is just forming. The range is pretty wide today. The opening range, or the 5 minute candle range. Opening range is actually 9:30 to 10 o'clock. Once we have our opening range, which is candle action between 9:30 and 10 a.m., we'll drop a fib, both to the upside and the downside, and see what our -1 and +1 range would be for the day. So here we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's our fifth candle. Here's our opening range gap. Price has tapped into about the 50% mark of it. It's 9:35. Just want to go back to the 5 minute here. Very wicky on the 5 minute. So we filled 50% of the opening range gap. So on the 5 minute candles, this is my 5 minute low. Just gonna get this, move this line out of the way. And this is my 5 minute high. So we have broken structure to the downside. So this is break of structure to the downside. Because this is my low, my 5 minute low. It's a down candle followed by an up candle. That's the most recent low. When we break structure, we need to have a candle body closure close below this low. That is a break of structure to the downside. And this is a method that I learned from TJR. It's a two candle high and low. You need 2 candles to make a high and a low. Both candles need to be different colors. And when you have a closure below or above your high or low body closure, that is a break of structure. Hey, good morning, Tandy. Good morning from Mozambique. I believe Tandy took that beautiful London trade this morning, so congratulations to Tandy. She actually framed it as a breaker block unicorn. So congratulations to Tandy. I think Tandy's been finding a lot of those trades recently, so good for you. Okay, so it's 9:39. We'll just zoom back to the 1 minute for a second. So we can see that we're just kind of ranging here. I would, I have no interest in trading the 5 minute strategy or any strategy before 10 a.m. Before news happens. But For those maybe who trade the opening range gap, you've got your 50%. And now, on a morning like this, I prefer to watch on the higher time frame, like even the 5 minutes. Just, yes, you did, Tandy. Yeah, you did take a nice trade this morning. I think London is your session, right? Because you're in Mozambique. Like, I think you're, what, is there a 10-hour time difference between New York and Mozambique? It's at least, I would say it's 10 hours. Okay, so let's just take a look here on the 5 minute, what we're doing with break of structure. This is still my 5 minute candle low. This is my low. Here's my low, a down candle followed by an up candle. And then my high is my up candle followed by my down candle. And you take the highest point. So this is still my 5 minute high. We have not broken structure. And here is my 5 minute low, down candle followed by an up candle. Here's my break. Here's my low. We have not broken low to the downside. We are right now, just price is between my 5 minute high and my 5 minute low. Okay, Tandy, so your London open is 9 a.m. for you? Oh, that's a good, yeah, no wonder you like to trade London. Good for you. So again, here's my candle up followed by a candle down. That's my most recent 5 minute high. And this candle, see how it's wicked above the 5 minute high? That's not a break of structure. It needs to be a body closure above. So we continue to trade between the 5 minute high and the 5 minute low. And if you're interested in this method, I have linked in the description of this video, the video of TJR, and it's a long video that he did, but he explains it in depth, and I've put timestamps in so that you can just go to the part that you'd like to watch. Thanks for the reminder. Read this. Let's go back and see if we've got a 1 minute fair value gap yet. What a mess. Look at this. Let's just put the 9:30 start in again, right here. I'm pretty sure the construction people are using a miter saw, although it sounds like a dental office. Like it makes me want to sweat just listening to that sound of a dental drill. And I used to work in dental. Okay, so here's our news release at 10 a.m. Yeah, it's just, we have nothing yet. We don't have a fair value gap. Thanks, read this. Yeah, very tricky. That's why on Tuesdays, when we have 10 a.m. news, I look for a pre-market trade, because the odds of finding something a little nicer in London or just pre-market, starting at 6 a.m., I would start looking for something. Between 6 and 7 a.m., you might find a setup for something. Just way more relaxed. You don't get this kind of, hyper activity of the market. Don't forget, if you're going to trade London, make sure that you check the economic calendar, because they have their own newsworthy events, and you don't want to be offside when they have a news release. So just remember to check the economic calendar if you're trading London or any other session. I'm laughing because the noise here is like, it's major. Okay, so let's see, where's our 5 minute high? Our 5 minute high now is, our most recent 5 minute high is candle up followed by a candle down. Sorry, excuse me. So where's our candle high followed by our candle low? So this is now our new high. And our new low is the most recent candle down followed by candle up. This is now the most recent low right here. And so you can see that we still have not broken structure to either side. Trying to make my chart a little bigger here for you. Read this. You scalped, so read this, scalped MNQ shorts from 7 to 7:30. Oh, good for you. Good. Congratulations. It's always good when we get a good trade. It's a nice way to start April 1st. What is April Fool's Day? So it's 9:45. We have 5 minutes before the algo starts and 15 minutes before news. Here we still have Scarface, 5-minute candle low and candle high. As a point of interest, and if you guys are on the London charts, I'd be interested in hearing your feedback, but last night I took Scarface's 5-minute candle strategy and I applied them to Asia. So starting at 8 p.m. and it worked like a charm. So I'm going to be looking at back testing that and see if the same strategy works for Asia. I won't do it for London because I'm not getting up at 3 a.m. to do that unless I automatically wake up. But I am going to be doing that for Asia and just see if that strategy works for the 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Asia Open. So this is still my high because I need 2 candles for my high. I need an up and a down. So these are not highs for me. My high is over here. We have not broken structure because we need a candle to close above. My low is still, here's my low. We have not broken low to the downside. And we have not broken high to the upside. So we still have basically no trend yet on the 5-minute. We might get a break with this candle. We have 33 seconds till it closes. So I'm just watching to see when the high, my 5-minute break of structure happens. There's my 5-minute break of structure. So my new high is, I don't have a new high yet, but this candle breaks structure of this high. So this is a break of structure to the upside. But you don't take a trade just based on break of structure. You need to find, like according to TJR, if you watch his video, of course you need to scale down to the 1 minute and then find a number of confluences that make a trade to the, in the case of today, to the upside. You need, I like at least 3 confluences, so do we have an order block? Let's just take a look. Oh, we are on the 1 minute, so let's just go back to the 5-minute for a second. Yep, so here's my high on the 5-minute. We broke structure with this candle so long as it closes above. And then here is my low. My low is the same. So if this candle closes above here, that's our 5-minute break of structure. It looks like it will. And then the idea is to move to the 1 minute. Look for a breaker block, order block, inverted fair value gap. That's the methodology that TJR uses. It's 9:49, so we have 1 minute until the algo starts. And again, 10 a.m. news. And I won't be trading. I won't be trading the news. I'll be watching, tape reading for the reaction. Here's our previous day high, just above us, and here's our buy side on the 1 minute, and our pre-market high at between 4 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. 9:47 first fair value gap. Thank you. Read this. Let's take a look. Yep, here we go. Here we go. First presented fair value gap, and it is a BISI. And we are just above yesterday's closing price. Volume imbalance on the daily is this greenish area, and this pink SIBI here is on the hourly, so it's a higher time frame. Here's our buy side on the 1 minute and our pre-market high right here. Go back to the 5 minute. Here's our 5 minute break of structure. First presented fair value gap. If we didn't have news at 10 a.m., high, low, higher, high, no breaker block yet. I don't want to risk putting too much on the chart here, but here would be our order block. Here's our order block. There's a combination of these two candles, our two down close candles before the run of candles up. I'm going to take off just for now new day opening gap because there's a lot on the chart here. First presented fair value gap. Volume imbalance has been filled to the upside and to the downside. I'm going to take our opening range gap just down to the point that this is the area that has not yet been filled, but let's just clean that up a little bit. Let's just go to the 15 and see where we are. So here was our pre-market high. We have at least covered the hourly SIBI to the top of it, at least wicked it. If we look at this range between this morning's high and this morning's low, let's look at where the OTE is, optimal trade entry. $62 to 79% right here. We have wicked that. So we've wicked this. This is an interesting hourly SIBI. We'll see if price moves above it and creates an inverted fair value gap, or after news is released in 4 minutes, if price wants to move down and explore the sell side. But right now on the 5 minute, let's see where we are. So our low remains right here. Our 5 minute low, excuse me, our 5 minute low is right here on the 5 minute. And our 5 minute high is right here. And our previous high is here. So we've made a higher high. And we have not made, we'll wait for this candle to finish. We may make a higher low, which would be an upward trend. And that's how I define my highs and lows, and looking for the trend of whether price is moving up or moving down. Okay, so read this is giving us a 19489. Let's just drop that on the chart and see. 19489. $50. Yesterday's high. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, exactly. I have it as 194.93 even, but yeah, that's right here. Previous day high, right here. Yeah, we put that on our chart this morning. I think what I'll do for tomorrow's video, because I don't do a lot of trading between Wednesday and Friday because price is like, I don't know, it's just so, like, I don't want to use the word. Anyway, I won't, like, schizophrenic. But, like, it's so up and down, it retraces, it's wiki, it's just everything. It's everything that I don't like. But I think what I'll do is I'll do a complete breakdown and list of everything that I put on my chart each morning, every level that I want to have on my chart, and maybe a brief description as to why. And I put the same things on my chart every morning, and then I recheck them every evening after the market closes. Okay, so we've still got here's our high. We have not broken our low yet. We are not bearish yet. We have not broken this low on the 5 minute time frame. I'll be very clear about that. It's 9:57. Yeah, Mike, I know, because it's hard to look at the charts when I'm doing it, and I know I've been there trying to follow other people, trying to figure out what level. So I'm gonna, if I have time today, I'll drop it in today's chart, but I think I'll make it a staple in my description areas and keep it in there every day, because I think it's important. And then you can just, depending on what style of trader you are, you can take and discard as you like. Okay, so this order block has been retraced back down to about the 50%. This is what's left of our opening range gap. And when we hit 10 o'clock, we'll take the range, the daily range. The daily range is between 9:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. We'll take that range, we'll draw a fib on it, and we'll just watch it and see whether ICT's strategy of giving us a high and a low and a potential low for the day. It's just kind of interesting to watch. So here's our order block. We've dropped back into the 50%. We are still bullish on the 5-minute time frame. We have not broken the low. Here's our low on the 5-minute, and here's our high. And our previous high is here. So here was our previous high, and here is our new high. So we are moving up. And here's our low, and we have not made a lower low. We have not broken this low yet. To break this low, we need a candle to break below here, a body to break below here, which it has not done. So in my humble opinion, pre-news, we are still bullish. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. We can watch the reaction here. Our first presented fair value gap. Again, I'm on the 5 minutes. I'm not on the 1 minute because the higher time frame breakup structure for me is important. I just want to take a peek at the numbers here and just see. Okay, so ISM manufacturing, our forecast was 49.5. It came in as 49.0, so 5% less than anticipated or forecasted. Jolt's job openings forecast was 7.69 million. It came in at 7.57, so less than forecasted. ISM manufacturing prices forecasted 64.6, came in at 69.4, so prices slightly above. Construction spending forecasted 0.3%, came in at 0.7%, so much higher than anticipated, month over month. I don't pretend for a second to understand why price reacts either bullishly or bearishly to news, but I am interested in the economy, and so I find the numbers interesting just from on a personal level. Okay, so here's our 5-minute high. Here's our 5-minute low. We haven't broken either yet. We are still within that trend. It's only 10:02. So just give the market time just to settle down. Settle down, people. You can see why I like that pre-market search for a potential trade, because I don't trade this stuff. Like, this is just not, it's not what I do. I don't trade before news. It's not my thing. It's not my gig. What's that quote? Know thyself. Okay, so I'm going to take out this vertical line. We know the news was released here. Here's our low. We're still in the order block. Price is still bullish because this was our previous high. This is our new high, so we've made a higher high. But we have this low here. The low has not been broken on the 5-minute time frame. Tapped into this first presented fair value gap. Oh, 1 second, guys. Well, if we go to the, read this, if we go to maybe the 1 minute, yeah, you're right, it's not. Well, looking at it at the 1 minute, it's pretty choppy. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. So from this leg of price, from this high to this low, we have tapped into the optimal trade entry area. If price were to go low, this would have been, you know, the entry. We don't know if price is going to go lower, because we have news that is manipulating. Take this off. Here's our 5-minute break of structure down here. What's left of the opening range gap? We have this 15-minute fair value gap here. Sunday's opening price. I always have Sunday's opening price, which is 6 p.m. on Sunday. I always have opening price on my chart. That gives me a sense of where the week started and where are we in relation to the week. Now, looking at where price is on the 15-minute, you can see that mostly price has been above midnight. Here's our midnight line. We've explored up here. We have come up mitigation block technically. And here is our 50% of the daily wick is down here. That's a draw. So it'll be interesting to see if price wants to continue moving up. And if we continue moving up, we have this daily equal lows, which we put on our chart from this morning. So we had multiple days where price rejected and went higher from this area. So this is like a ceiling, I guess we could describe it as. So we just continue to wick. Okay, so let's drop a fib on the range between 9:30 and 10 a.m. So let's find, this is 9:30, so our low is here, and this is our high. So let's just take a fib. So from our 9:30 to 10, standard deviation. Here's our -1. Potentially a standard 1 deviation. It could go up to 1.5, but let's just put this on here and call this standard deviation 1, so we know what that is. And then we'll do it the other way. And we'll take our high to our low, and our standard deviation to the downside is right here. Standard deviation. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say one is negative or one is positive because we don't know if price is going to go either way, but here is, and here's our -2. Just because I think, anyway, I'm not going to say what I think, but there we go. So that is taking the opening range, and the opening range is between 9:30 and 10 a.m. You take the opening range to the high and to the low, and ICT says that that's a, you know, kind of like an area of interest. You know, if you drop this on your chart each day, you can kind of map this out over months to see. And what I like to do, and I believe what ICT says is, of course, you don't take this as in and of itself. You look for any other confluence that might be, you know, like if you go to maybe the 15-minute, you're looking for some fair value gaps. You're looking for something else that would be in this area. It looks like we're trying to break our 5-minute break of structure. Let's just go back and take a look. Okay, so here's our new low. We've made a new low. So here's our down candle followed by our up candle. So this is our 5-minute low now. And we have broken this If this candle closes below this low, this is our 5-minute break of structure. And here is Scarface 5-minute candle strategy. Pre-market low at 9:30. We've got 2 sell sides down here. Okay, so we're breaking structure on the 5-minute. So here's the low. If this candle closes, and this candle has 4 minutes and 16 seconds left, but if this candle closes below the 5-minute here, then we have a 5-minute break of structure. And then I would want to drop down to the 1-minute to look for a potential entry. That's TJR strategy. Remember, we're still manipulated by price, so I'm in no hurry to take a trade, and I might just wait till this afternoon to see if I could find something or just call it a day. Like I banked, I don't know, almost $1,000 this morning, so I'm not about to give any of it back. This is a nice closure, almost closure. 3 minutes and 31 seconds. And here's the 5-minute candle strategy. If anyone is watching Scarface, so let's move to the 1-minute. This is our break of structure if this candle remains below. And here's Scarface right here. Sorry, this one is the low. This is Scarface. I'll make Scarface a dotted line just so that we don't get mixed up. I believe in Scarface videos, he does not trade red folder days. If anyone has listened to his videos and can confirm that, maybe you could drop that into the chat. But I believe that that's what he says in his videos. Go back to the 5 minutes for a second. Have we closed yet? No, we still have 2 minutes on this candle. Here's our 50% of the daily wick. This could be like a nice standard deviation of about 1.5%. It's kind of like in between these standard deviation 1 and 2. Go back to the 1 minute. Such a mess in here. I'm just trying to find like if there's a breaker block. If anyone sees a breaker block, maybe you could just let me know. I mean, it's a messy one, but it's high, low, higher, high, lower, low. It's messy, but it's possible. Now that I'd want to see price move back up into the breaker block, but again, notice also on the 1 minute, like there's no fair value gaps, right? On the 1 minute here, There's almost no fair value gaps. This is really ugly. I gotta take out this order block now since I don't think it has any more relevance. High, low, higher, high, lower, low. So if price were to come back into, here's our bearish breaker block. And to have a high probability breaker block, we would want to see some fair value gaps inside the breaker while we have the first presented fair value gap. In this leg, we do have a fair value gap in this leg, making it a balanced price range. So that could be interesting. Overnight low target. And when you read this, when you say overnight low, do you mean between midnight and 9:30 a.m.? Is that what you mean by overnight? We've ripped through the opening range gap. I'm going to remove this. It would be interesting to see if price comes back into this bearish breaker. So high, low, higher, high, lower, low. And I would want to see like something like this before going like this. That's what I would like to see. Sorry, read this. What does ETH stand for? Sorry. Estimated time high? Estimated, I don't know. Like, help me out here. Help a girl out. So here we have Scarface's 5-minute low. I don't want to mix like too many strategies, but I'm just pointing things out as I see them. So this would be like if price came back to retest and then rejected, that's interesting. We have a potential for a bearish breaker block. That's interesting. We are now below midnight. So as I said earlier today, if you watch that at midnight, price has been mostly above midnight, and we can expect a drop below midnight for New York. Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Regular trading hours versus electronic trading hours. I'm with you. I got you. A little bit slow on the uptake this morning because I'm watching a lot here, but thank you. So here was our first sell side on the 1 minute that we had identified early this morning before the market opened. And then here's our second sell side. I just want to go back to the 15-minute and take a look and see what we've got down here. We've got our 15-minute fair value gap. All of this here, this is all high resistance liquidity. Okay, this is all high resistance liquidity on the 15-minute. And here, this is our daily low and weekly low down here. This is high resistance liquidity. This is not easy liquidity. This is just pretty ugly down here. So we could anticipate that price could move down here, but it's not going to be that really nice, fast drop. This is toughing it out. But let's wait and see what happens. Let's go back to the 1 minute. So we are making lower lows. We have not come back to the 5 minute Scarface low yet. We have not come back to the bearish breaker yet. But that's okay, because as we have seen over the last couple of weeks that I have been live streaming with you guys, I don't know if we're on week 3 or so, but we know for a fact that there's a high probability that price will return to a breaker, but it doesn't have to do so right away. It could be, you know, that lunch hour period, right, where things may just calm down and we may see price move into the bearish breaker and then get another shot at going low. So I never panic when I see price kind of coming down here and I'm not in a trade, because a bearish breaker, we've seen it time and time again, that price will return to a breaker sometimes 2 times during another part of the day. So that's why these breakers are so, I find them, well, as you know, I trade breakers all the time, because they're just so nice, high probability trades. So it's 10:21. What a mad rush this morning with this news. Yeah, electronic trading hours, thanks. Read this. Actually, I spend almost no time on regular trading hours. The only time I move to regular trading hours is to find that 414 settlement price. And if I'm looking at regular stocks, overnight or something, obviously I'm going to be looking at regular trading hours, but generally speaking. So let's see if price can either make a move into the bearish breaker here, or this Scarface 5 minute. I'm going to remove the high here, the 5 minute high, and I'm going to remove the 5 minute low, because we know that we've broken break of structure to the downside. We already know that. Let's just, for fun, put our power of 3 candle on and see where we are. So we can see that we want to, ideally, if you're a day trader and you want to capture the majority of the daily move, we want to enter on the wick. We want to get into the trade on the power of 3 candle. So this was our London move when London swept this morning at 6 a.m. So this was the high. So this would have been a nice place to enter the trade, because we're down here. And here was our Asia low this morning. Could have entered, you want to enter on the wick and have taken price all the way up here. So this is just a nice visual to have, power of 3, because it gives you, it kind of grounds you in terms of what is the daily range. Because that's ultimately what we're looking for as a trader, is to capture that daily range as a day, as a day trader. I'm not including scalpers, because, if you're looking to scalp something, you're not looking to take the daily range, you're looking to take a portion of it. So this is a little rejection here from a return to Scarface 5 minute. It's an interesting area. Wonder if we'll move further up into the bearish breaker. I'm not signaling a trade or anything. I just sometimes throw this on my chart just because I'm pondering potential. But this is not a signal to sell. This is not a signal to buy. This is not a signal service. You do you, I'll do me. No. It may have filled this fair value gap here and may want to go more into the order block. I'm not sure yet, but we don't have any other fair value gaps up here. Reject, 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 reject. I have Scarface's voice running through my head right now, you know, when he says you want to have like a clean rejection here. You don't want price to be like moving in and out, in and out, in and out. You want like a clean, you want to see the seller step right back in. And we're not getting that. We're getting like a, maybe we go up, maybe we don't. Although I do like the wicks. And it's still respecting this fair value gap. I can't make up my mind. We've made a higher low, a higher low. We filled this fair value gap. I don't know, I still like it, but it's 1034. It's not a high, I wouldn't call it high probability. I just don't like the fact like it keeps coming up and retesting the SIBI, like either drop and get on with it. Yeah, I'm gonna get out. I don't like it. It just, retest, 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 retest. I want to see it fill this SIBI, take the liquidity and drop, but it's just not doing that. It might do it later, but it's ugly. Yeah, you know what? I'm happy with my trade this morning, but this is worth a shot because you guys know that I love the unicorns. Like that's my deal, right? That's my wingman. Actually, my dog is my wingman, but so it may just not be ready. It may want to come back up. It may want to just take some time this morning to just continue kind of like this chatter. But I'm going to keep my eye on it as I do other things today. I like to keep my charts up. And, as I'm doing stuff or whatever, then I just keep an eye on it because definitely if I see a unicorn, I'm going to take that trade. I'll take it every single time. But, so I think we'll probably just wrap this up, guys. Thank you so much for joining this morning and for contributing to the community with your experience, your observations, your humor. I appreciate it, and I think everybody else appreciates it. For all those people that join us from far, far away lands, I thank you for being here. And like I say, if I see anything kind of formulate, I'll be sure to track it this afternoon and then drop something into the YouTube site later today. But as far as I'm concerned, like I had a great morning trade and I'm content with enough. Just a heads up that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, very heavy red folder news. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are generally days that I either don't trade or it's going to be, really small position because predominantly non-farm payroll week is not my friend. So I've learned my lesson like a billion zillion times. And so anyway, I look forward to trading like more next week, but I will be here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but I'll be tape reading. Don't expect like anything major from me because I just don't do a lot of trading in that time frame. So be sure to check out the video that I've dropped into the discussion this morning. It's Mulhand, and he discusses Asia and London, the exact trade that I took this morning. And the one that was, I think it was last Thursday, if you go back and look at Asia, London sweeping Asia into a higher PD array. And that is a beautiful setup and worth waiting for if you trade that time of day. So anyway, guys, I thank you. Have an awesome, awesome day and peace out. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.